Hello, everyone. This is Gail Lloyd. It's March 11th, 2021, and this is the torture report. And you see bits of gray matter over my face because I've found that if I do a solution of uh, avocado oil with activated charcoal and put it over my face, that it forestalls the worst of the chemicals that they're shooting at my face. So I can at least talk to you and not have my uh, muscles go into some sort of rigid spasms so that I cannot articulate. And yeah, I have lost a bit of a tooth there and look forward to the day when I can struggle out to go to the dentist. Fortunately, I'm not in pain in that regard. And so I hear that the hostages below my property and the gang leaders holding them and me hostage, all of them are weakening considerably. They're on extreme austerity rations because everybody is so sick of them being down there, mind-controlled zombies of Raytheon. And I hear that they're piling up bodies of the dead in corners of the rooms. And I learned something even more horrible, which is, I kept on hearing that she took on the whole city in one. And I finally realized that it's not just, because these weapons, they can go through cell towers and drones. And so they're not location specific. And the horrible reality dawned upon me. What they mean by she took on the whole city in one is that there were gangs throughout the whole city of Eugene assaulting me. So it's not just a matter of the 100 or so immediately below boards, but I have to contemplate that thousands have died. And all I had was my determination and resistance and unity with my allies, and seeded with nanotechnology to help me to become resilient to these horrific chemical weapons being shot at me. And over the past few days, I hear kids, that were brought on to try to destroy me. They thought they could do that within weeks. I was the prototype, and if I hadn't stood in their way, this would have gotten franchised. And I'm realizing that the deep state, who trained them and designed these weapons, figured that I would be brought down in a few weeks, and no one would really know how devastatingly lethal the weapons are to the shooters. And instead of being brought down in 3 weeks, I withstood for 3 years. Actually, 5 years. 3 years with this gang, a total of 5 when they started assaulting me with these types of weapons. And so the kids are saying, she destroyed us using our own weapons against us. And it's not like I, picked up the weapon and started shooting at them. I just, through my passive resistance, it was a jujitsu move. And, I didn't know, nobody knew, probably except the upper echelons of the military, how devastating these weapons would be to these wielders of them if they, didn't, bring me low in a few weeks to a few months and then move on with a tidy profit, having made me a remotely viewed prostitute. But my resistance, the gang became more and more addicted to the weaponry. They became more mind-controlled and became zombies, where their minds aren't their own anymore, and they have no understanding of the damage that they are inflicting on themselves, let alone the harm that they're trying to inflict upon me. And in the meantime, I've been reading this book by this well-known author, Paul Theroux. He's written all sorts of amazing books on the far-flung. He's a war correspondent, and so I got up to this point in the book. Where he's in Saigon right now, just learning about the devastation that first the French and then the Americans wreaked upon that country. And because of their resilience, unity, and persistence, they drove both the French and the Americans out, and are rebounding in really positive social and economic ways based on their social philosophies. And so, Paul is talking to some people about how he was part of the protesters in front of the White House during the Vietnam War, and his family sneering at him. And he quotes Ho Chi Minh's prison diary poems at this moment on page 373. Once again, it's The Ghost Train to the Eastern Star by Paul Theroux. And he quotes Ho Chi Minh's prison diary poems. The poet also should know how to lead an attack. And is that not what I have done? And did I not stop leaders in the U.S. turning our own country into Vietnam with this technology? Not having lifted a weapon myself. Not to mean that I disparage people defending their own country against tyrants any way they can, but I never lifted a weapon. I only took a stand. Sometimes poets have to lead the attack. And I'm proud of what I've done here for my country. And how dare anybody question my patriotism to the Constitution and the United States of America. Thank you for your solidarity, my allies. Walk safe, be free.